Hello, race fans. Welcome back to Freaky Fast Broadcasting, and we are back on this beautiful Sunday night for Sim Racing Unleashed for the Smoke Inc. 200 here at the Michigan International Speedway for race number 5 of their 2021 season. We need to give a special shout out to all the sponsors that help make it happen here at Sim Racing Unleashed and Freaky Fast Broadcasting. And first, we'd like to give a special shout out to Budget Sim Boxes. If you're a sim racer on a budget looking for a button box, then Budget Sim Boxes is your source. With several different sizes and functionality options, Budget Sim Boxes will have the button box that fits your price range without breaking the bank. Budget Sim Boxes is your source of high quality button boxes at an affordable price. You can find them on Facebook by searching Budget Sim Boxes or looking for them in the Facebook iRacing flea market. So make sure you go check them out, as Budget Sim Boxes are a proud sponsor here at the Sim Racing Unleashed League. Next, we have ButtKicker. Feel what you've been missing. Every game deserves a truly immersive experience. The ButtKicker Gamer 2 lets you feel every detail, from the subtle footsteps to the rumble of a V10 powered race car. By moving a physical mass instead of only air, the Gamer 2 provides instant, accurate, powerful base response, and it's all perfectly synced with every game with no additional software required. So make sure you go to ButtKicker.com and check out what they have in store for you there, and you can use our promo code FreakyFast20 to get 20% off there of any purchase at ButtKicker.com. ButtKicker, feel what you've been missing. But thank you everybody for tuning in here tonight for the Smoke Inc. 200 here at the Michigan International Speedway. I am Zach Hall, and joined alongside me is Lee Tidwell with Robert Moyer Jr. running the production box. Lee, it's good to be back here on a beautiful Sunday night here in the Irish Spring Hills.
It absolutely is. And Zach, I've known you for a while now. Please don't take this the wrong way. I must preface with all due respect. When we start these broadcasts off and Zach goes straight into the sponsors, it sounds like someone giving their junior dissertation or reading a book report in front of their English class. And I try to hold in my giggles at times because it's unique to Zach and his broadcasting style. But I absolutely adore it. But yeah, I was over here trying to find the mute button real quick because I was started snickering right when you went into the ButtKicker. I apologize.
We'll get a little story here before quick. We got a little time for qualifying because you know it's funny you said that because I was terrible. I was the worst presenter in class probably ever. I hated that. That was like my fear in life, was to get in front of a class and read something off a piece of paper or do a project. So let me tell you, you bringing that up just brought back so many memories, and it's definitely hilarious because I know exactly what you're talking about.
I highly apologize. I've done so many reads for television and radio and commercial spots and voiceovers and stuff, and then you get someone that you can tell that they're just, it's not what they want to do. It's not in them. They're just like, no, I don't like doing this. And the best part about it is the end. And I find it one of your endearing qualities there, Big Mac.
I appreciate it, Lee. It's always good to bring a smile, at least if any way I can, to the fans out there and to you, man. So I appreciate you picking on me too, because then now next time I do it, I'm gonna be even more subconscious about it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Smoke Inc. 200. I am Lee Tidwell, Zach Hall, Big Mac himself here with us, and back on the buttons, making all the magic happen for your eyes to dazzle at. Robert A. Moyer Jr., Oz himself, taking care of everything behind the curtain. We are at Michigan with the Next Gen Cars and SRU. It is Premiere Sunday here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting as we bring you a premiere broadcast of the week. Sunday night racing at its best with SRU, Sim Racing Unleashed. And I tell you what, Zach, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Since last week, to be precise. Mark Whitley has been dominant this season. What's he going to do here tonight? Steven Leffler, 20 points behind, looking for a big night. Brad Delph, we haven't talked a lot about. He's third in points. Derek Love, fourth in points. He's a rookie, and he's tied with Yarrow back in fifth. So, but Smoke Inc. has won both races, the truck and Xfinity this week. So they're looking for a strong performance here. or will we see Whitley back in that winner's circle?
Well, I tell you what, if there's a place where anybody can get it done, it's going to be here tonight in Michigan. This track is going to give these drivers more opportunities, such as we would see at Talladega and Daytona Lee, in my opinion. So we could definitely see someone win tonight that we never even expected to win. So someone all the way at the bottom of the board in qualifying could go out here and win tonight with the way these cars are driving, at least from what I'm hearing. Sounds like very much wide open. And I tell you what, these guys also, they got to be a little bit giddy to get back into the cars. Last week out with Father's Day weekend, and then we got 4th of July weekend coming up, so we'll be off again. So this is like their one race in the middle of those 2 weeks. These guys want to get out here and compete for some race wins.
Yep, still got about 10 more seconds left here in practice before we begin qualifying. Got 3 new drivers on the track tonight making their SRU debut. They are the 99 of Seth Warren, the 5 of Keith Hurlbut. Actually, they're not new rookies just added, because we've called Hurlbut before. And then number 79, that guy. Yes,
79.
79. Say that, sir. Oh, he's not on the track. Oh, it saves us.
Okay, yeah, I don't see a 79 from him.
Yeah, I was just looking on the broadcast notes at the rookies, and I'm like, wait, this ain't new rookies just for tonight. This is rookies that I guess started with the season.
Okay.
So, yeah. I try, man. I try really hard on Sunday nights. I want this to be the best broadcast it could be for Freaky Fast.
That's right.
To end our weekend and just vault ourselves forward into the work week and bring a little bit of excitement, a little bit of joy, a little bit of humor to your Sunday night before you go off to La La Land and have to get up for the early morning Monday grind that I so despise.
Well, Lee, I can tell you, I thought I was blind there for a minute. You were saying the 79, and I was like, yikes, I don't see a 79. Can I see? But luckily, like you said, a little bit of a boo-boo there. But, man, qualifying starting, it's going to be hard to differentiate any type of lap times out here for these drivers with it being such wide open. You can see Hunter Hayward. You don't usually see that here in Michigan with the other Cup cars, even with it being wide open, where you go all the way to the bottom of the track. But that just shows you how much grip they have. They're going to the lowest bank part of the track because it's the shortest way around, which will equate to the fastest lap time.
As we're watching the 21 of Hunter Hayward now, coming through 3 and 4. Qualifying is such an intriguing part of the race, but it's a very hard part to call, especially when they're all out there at once. I would like, just for 1 week, even though it would extend the broadcast, 30-something minutes, I would love to see old school qualifying, one after another. Do open qualifying, but, run it down.
Yeah, it would be really cool to do that. Yeah, that's one thing I think of NASCAR fans, we kind of have learned to appreciate is practice and qualifying. Actually, as with the circumstances we've had through the past year or two now, we haven't really had qualifying or practice sessions very much. So when we do get them, we're like, wow, this is really fun to watch again. So it's really, really cool to hopefully have that back next year. But yeah, Lee, I think that would be a cool idea for some type of event.
Whitley jumps to the top of the leaderboard, a 40.388 for the number 77. And now Josh Jones will take that spot from him, 40.326. So that number 1 spot kind of jumping back and forth right now. Stympian up in there, mixing it up 3rd. Brad Delphin 4th. Hunter Hayward in 5th. Lulby, Love, Leffler, Nadeau, Doyle, your top 10 at the moment. Cheswick just threw down a 40.672 at 11th. Todd Neese, Jeff Dotson, Clifton Ashley, Luke LaFaro, Jason T. Adams. Dave Bush just jumps into 2nd. Wow. The painter himself, Mr. Masterpiece, Dave Bush, with a 40.329, 3/1,000ths of a second behind Josh Jones.
Yeah, and I believe he won the truck race here this week. So Dave Bush looking very quick at the moment. And I tell you what, if he does as good as his logo looks for tonight's race, I think he'd do no better than be in victory lane.
Yeah, Dave Bush, an outstanding painter, designer, designed the logo for tonight's race as well. Absolutely adore Dave Bush. One of my favorite people that I've met on this simulator since starting, back about last March or so. But I've had an excellent time with Freaky Fast and with all the different leagues, and Dave Bush has always been a stand-up guy. Jones still sitting on the pole right now, Zach.
Yeah, at the moment, still holding on to that spot. Only 3,000ths of a second separating Bush and Jones there. But then back to there, about 600ths to the 77 of Mark Whitley, which is actually a considerable margin when you're wide open. So Dave Bush and Josh Jones had it really figured out. And one thing I noticed when I looked at Josh Jones' lap, different from what I'm seeing from a few other guys like Hunter Hayward, was he was running in the second groove in turn 1 and 2 and on the bottom in 3 and 4. So unlike Hayward, where he was right on that line all the way through 1 and 2, like I see a few other guys also doing, Josh Jones was up the groove a little bit, carrying a little bit more speed.
So Mr. Stipien, as James Bryant just jumps into 4th position on Mr. Stipien here on YouTube with us. Of course, the father of Steven Stipien said the baby watch begins. That Miss Kayla and Mr. Stipien, or Junior Stipien, I guess we'll call him, expecting the baby could arrive as early as this week. So, congratulations to Steven and Kayla. Kayla, one of my favorite people to ever join us in chat. I miss her when she's not able to come up. We're about to get set to put that starting lineup on the screen and let everyone know how we're going to get her going here at Michigan with SRU, Zach.
Yes, sir. It's our starting grid here tonight. Starting from that pole position is going to be that 76 of Josh Jones. Alongside him will be the 53 of Dave Bush. Third is going to go to the 73 of Mark Whitley. Fourth is going to be James Bryan. Fifth is going to be Steven Stipien. Sixth place will go to Lane Doyle. Seventh is going to be Brad Delph. Eighth place there, Jeff Dotson. Ninth will be Hunter Hayward in the 21 car. Rounding out your top 10 will be Nicholas Lobe. 11th is going to go to Luke LaFaro. Derek Love is going to be in 11th. Luke LaFaro is going to be in 12th. 13th is going to go to Steven Leffler. 14th is going to be Robbie Darnell. 15th, Kyle Nadu. 16th, Robert Cheswick. 17th is going to be Brandon Hartwell in that 25 car. 18th is going to be Michael Yarrow. 19th, Todd Neese. 20th is going to be Clifton Ashley. Paul Cohen's going to start in that 21st position. 22nd, Jason Adams. 23rd is going to be Mark Koscheck. And rounding out your field in the 24th position will be David Neese in the 27th machine.
Yep, that'll do it. As we get set to get underway at Michigan International Speedway, 2 miles of mayhem this Sunday evening on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Thank you one and all for joining us once again here on your Sunday Night Thunder, the premier broadcast on Freaky Fast, the SRU. Guys, can we get going? Goodness.
Right, they're just sitting there.
We're waiting on one person. Who the heck? I'm gonna call him out. If I figure it out, I'm gonna call him out. They better.
I'm gonna figure it out, Lynn.
Is it Cheswick?
Oh no! It was Robert Cheswick.
Okay.
He's in there though.
So Mark Whitley taking his sweet time. Where's that Koscheck? Oh yeah, Koscheck and Neese, and they might not be racing.
Yeah,
they are.
Neese
All right,
actually disconnected. Yeah.
I don't know why I was so ready just to call something. I'm in an aggressive mood tonight. Don't know where that came from.
Well, I'd tell you what. If you're in an aggressive mood, Lee, these drivers are going to have to be in an aggressive mood because this race right here, not much we can bank off of to go of history here with this car, but I can just tell you just from watching a little bit and talking to a few drivers, this race is going to be super wild. We better stay seated for this race because it's going to knock us down a few points.
You might have paid for the entire chair, but you're only going to need the edge of your seat.
Oh my gosh. This man and his sayings. This is why everybody tunes in to Freak Fast Broadcasting right here. Thank you everybody again for tuning in, but we got to give Lee some love out there in the chat and Robert because these guys put on one heck of a show each night.
Nah, man, I just show up on the weekends and talk. You guys are the real heroes. Week in, week out, especially Robert, man. Robert, puts on a quality broadcast and lets two yahoos like us come up here and talk for an hour and a half. And You never know what's really going to go. I'm surprised we hadn't got banned or, struck down from YouTube as of yet. But luckily, I think they enjoy the they enjoy the little bit of spunk that we might offer on a Sunday evening. Pace car comes off. We get set to go. Jones and Bush on row 1. Whitley and Bryan row 2. Stimpy and Doyle 3. Delph and Dotson row 4. Hayward and Lobby in row 5. Underway, 200 laps in the Smoke Inc. 100 laps in the Smoke Inc. 200. Jones will lead them down that long front stretch into turn number 1. We were talking about the different grooves, and everybody stayed about one groove up, except for going on back to Stipien, who's hugging that bottom line. Jones will go up now. Whitley's going to go underneath Josh Jones. Nice acceleration, and is going to try to take that lead. Stipien in the 81 going to follow behind. Jones is up top along with Dave Bush. Behind them going to be Brad Delph, Brian Hayward, Doyle, and Dotson, who now falls back to 10th position. Bringing it out of 4. Mark Whitley in the lead, in the driver's seat, so to speak. And will lead lap number 1. Zach, nice start for these guys in the next-gen cars.
Oh, this is a fantastic start. Side-by-side action from that 4th position on back. Yeah, you can see Stipien going for the lead here off of 2. What a run he had there. Can he get it done, though? But Whitley's going to have the help on the outside. I think that outside line's going to go forward. Here comes Brad Delph for the 14.
Delph makes it 3 wide, though Stipien in the middle comes around, and now we'll race Mark Whitley for the lead. Stipien falls back to 4th. Jones will be in 3rd on the high side coming through 4. Whitley's got the momentum. Delph's got the line. Coming out of 4, Stipien's going to drop behind Delph, give him a little shove there. And now we're going to see 3 wide, and Stip's going to pull it up, push Delph to the bottom side. Whitley in 1st, now Stipien in 2nd. Delph's going to fall all the way back to 5th position as Dave Bush and Josh Jones pull out in front of him.
Man, the 14 slides up the racetrack, almost into Leffler there in the 72. Little contact actually there as Delphus keeps sliding back. Here comes Brandon Hartwell. This might be 4 wide. No, 3 wide now, going down to 3.
3 wide. Delph stuck in the middle in that number 14 machine. They do it. Hartwell around there as well. We come through 4, almost door 11. Gonna keep it going. 3 wide across the start finish line, and now they're just going to pack it up and make a diamond pattern. It's like the Blue Angels are in Michigan tonight.
Yeah, I expected fireworks, Lee, but I didn't expect them this early, as these guys are putting on one heck of a show. I don't know what the grand finale is going to look like, but man, this opening is just wild.
Derek Love in that 87 almost kissed that outside wall. Got the momentum back. Top 10 still shaking up. Let's go over it. Stipien in the lead. Dave Bush 2nd. Hunter Hayward up 6 spots now in 3rd. Josh Jones in 4th. Stephen Leffler in 5th. Then you got Brad Delph in 6th. Whitley 7th. Derek Love now up to 8th. Nadeau drops back to 9th. Brandon Hartwell will round out your top 10 as we bring it through. Now we're 3 wide once again, back in the back of the pack around the 25 of Brandon Hartwell. They finally leveled that out. The 32 is going to be right above him in Lane Doyle in that Bob Ross machine. And then behind them with Lobby and Bryan door to door.
Yeah, they're losing that front pack. The front pack is racing hard too, but these guys are side by side drafting each other. It's really just losing time, and I think actually one of the drivers even just came over the whole radio and just said, yeah, we're losing time here battling, guys. So it's trying to get this figured out here, and you can see the gap forming from this pack on back. I believe it's about a 7-car breakaway up front.
Yeah, Whitley's going to be at the tail end of that in the 2nd group. It starts with Love. Trying to get it single filed out as they come down the backstretch. Only 2 outside now. James Bryan being one of those, and Brandon Hartwell. They're going to slide on back to the back and now try to form that up. Back up front, we bring that through 4. Stipien continues to lead. Bush, Hayward, Jones, Leffler, Whitley, that front 7. And now you've got Brad Delph about to catch that front draft.
Yeah, Delph has been able to hang on there. And right now, it's starting to single file out. They're trying to with Derek Love, Kyle Nadeau, Wayne Doyle there. Also Nicholas Wolby. All these guys trying to single file the best they can to get their speed back up. They're going to have to do their best because they've already lost upwards of 3 seconds on this front back.
Leffler inside of Jones. That is a battle for 4th. Whitley gave him a nice little shove down the backstretch. And they'll be door-to-door coming out of 4. Now Whitley's going to be behind Jones down the front. Going to send Leffler back. So Leffler paid the price. And look at Delph. He's like, excuse me, pardon me, coming through.
Yeah, you can see the top 3 right here. This is the Smoke Inc. 200. Right now, our top 3 is Steven Stimpian, Dave Bush, and Hunter Hayward. A little bit of action here. Nicholas Lobey. A little bit of checkup there from these guys is, I think, Hartwell and Lobey got a little contact.
Well, we got some people right on each other's bumpers, too. Around that 87 of Derek Love. Then he's got Nadeau right behind him, Lane Doyle and LaFaro. They are nose to tail.
Yeah, you can see,
8 through 11.
Yeah, and you can see it's really single file out. Guys are really trying not to lose speed and race each other right now is what I'm noticing. As I say that, Nadeau takes a look on Love, but I think it's actually going to open the door up for possibly Doyle to go on the outside.
And Doyle's looking on the high side now of Nadeau, LaFaro right behind him, so he's going to lose 2 spots just from sniffing, just from thinking about going to the inside right there.
Yeah, and a driver who lost the front 7 now as it's become a front 6 is Steven Leffler, who's kind of no man's land between these guys in the 72. So he's kind of cruising right here. But what I'm wondering is he saving a little tire? I mean, what are the long runs like? I've heard the whole run you can run flat foot around this racetrack. Now, dirty air, that's going to be a whole different ball game. Got the lift in that situation. But we'll have to see, does tire wear become an issue? I really don't have no past experience with it, so can't really tell.
Well, Love and Doyle and LaFaro's catching up with Leffler. He might be just trying to wait on them. Maybe not trying to wait. They're just catching up when it comes to 1 car versus 3. But Leffler, yeah, he's hung right there in the middle, and will get caught by Derek Love in the 87, probably when they enter 1. Lane Doyle's just been pushing him around this entire track. They've got some serious speed. They're going to go around Leffler. Push him on the back even further.
Yeah, and Leffler right now, he's just looks like he's going to get swamped by these guys. He should be able to pull up behind him, though, and stick with him at this point. But again, that pack 3.4 seconds back, they're still losing time for leaders.
Yeah, so he gets up in front of Nadeau and will fall back to 10th position. So Stimpian will continue to lead with Dave Bush in 2nd. Hunter Hayward in 3rd, Josh Jones 4th, Mark Whitley 5th, Brad Delph in 6th. And you got Derek Love in 7th, Lane Doyle 8th, Luke LaFaro 9th, and Steven Leffler in 10th position. Up front, Delph and Whitley coming out of 2 door-to-door. Delph's going to fall back to 6th as he tried to make a move, and it did not bode well for him, kind sir.
Yeah, that was close between the 14 and that 77, Mark Whitley and Brad Delph. You definitely caught that one there. It could have been disastrous. But I tell you what, the 6-car breakaway, it's kind of interesting right now with the 3 guys up front being the Smoky teammates. And then next to the guys not teammates. So it's kind of, how is this going to shake out? We'll have to see here. But at the moment, Steven Stimpian, he's enjoying this as he's getting to lead all these laps. Dave Bush, though, doing a fantastic job all over the back bumper of that 81, even through the corners. That's hard to do when you're that close to losing all that aero downforce.
And everybody piling up right there going into 3. Stacking them up, pushing them through, and Stimpian's going to have an outstanding lap on this one. I want to thank everyone for joining us out there on YouTube this evening for the Smoke Inc. 200 100 laps around Michigan International Speedway with SRU Sim Racing Unleashed. Lee Tidwell, Zach Hall, and Robert Amoya, Oz himself behind the curtain, bringing you all this Sunday night action. And now, look at there. Josh Jones to the high side of Hunter Hayward. Smoke Inc. might get broke up here. And now Brad Delph's going to dive down to the inside of Mark Whitley.
Yeah, you can see this is just pulling him back. It looks like Hayward able to get his quarter panel free of Jones and slide forward up to 3rd. But now Delph fighting with Whitley. Can Jones give Delph the draft? It looks like he is. We'll see if Delph can get it done down here in the 1.
Going down into 1, Delph on the low side, Mark Whitley on the high side. That is a battle for 5th position. Delph's got it for the moment, but cannot close the door. Whitley's going to have the run on the high side. Dave Bush shoving Stipien once again. Hayward right behind them, and now Josh Jones catching up. Then you got Mark Whitley and Brad Delph. That's going to be your top three. What Jones is using that third up groove, that middle groove, where everyone else is like one up from the bottom. If you've noticed, 2, 3, and 4.
He's searching, and that's something I like to see. You know, a lot of these guys, the top three, all in line following each other, where Jones is the first to really search for something. He got the Hayward's outside one time. If he can figure out how to make that work better, he could be able to make that pass. And look, he's looking again out of 2 here, not able to get it done. But man, he's definitely learning stuff for the end of this race. And I've got to give a shout out to Mr. Stipien out there in chat, as he asked about the fuel window if we stay green here. I personally, looking at the past experience here, they're definitely not going to go 50 laps in my opinion when I take the fuel. So we're not looking at a one stop. I'm thinking we're looking at about a 2-stop race here. So really, we can see pit stops starting to transpire anywhere from lap 33 onwards to 40. I don't know.
Yeah, and in these next gen cars too, a lot of us have not had experience racing these cars on these tracks, or seeing what those fuel windows looks like, see what the tire wear looks like. So we're kind of flying blind on some of these races.
Yeah, we're learning just as much as these drivers are. I mean, they're learning a lot more because they're out there on the track. But just watching these races are definitely giving us somewhat of a feel for how these cars drive, how the strategy works, and how the fuel mileage is going to work. It could be completely opposite. If these guys go 50 laps on fuel here, I'll be mind blown.
So the separation between Delph in 6 and Derek Love, the beginning of the second group, is 2.9 seconds. That has been slowly shrinking, very slowly.
Yeah, it's closed up. It definitely has shrunk down. And that gap between the pack there all the way back to 7 at 3.3, that's kind of stayed the same between Derek Love and Steven Stipien. That gap has. So that's kind of interesting. They almost just lost time in that one phase of the race, and right now that's really what's catching them out.
Lap 19 of 100, 82 to go, no cautions. Good racing so far. Delph on the inside of Mark Whitley. He will overtake 5th, push Whitley back into 6th. As we're looking at the 14 of Delph on your screen. Then Lane Doyle and Stephen Leffler mixing it up back here a little bit. Doyle will overtake Leffler, put him up to 8th. That's in that second group, and the more they leapfrog each other, the bigger that gap's going to get.
Yeah, the lap before they gained some time. We'll see this time by. But yeah, lost some time there, Lee. So yeah, like you said, when they start getting out of line like that and trying to race each other somewhat, they're going to lose time. So their goal has to be, in my opinion, to just gain as much time as possible, get that draft from Mark Whitley. And really, they just need to get about 2.5 seconds within the leader, and then they should really start to get the draft from Mark.
Yeah, this front group, every time they go into 3 and 4, they kind of fan out and use different lines too. And that's, the draft isn't as, correct me if I'm wrong, because, I'm not a semi-professional race car driver. I am a wannabe sim racer. But the draft not necessarily as important in the turns as it is down the straightaway.
Oh, yeah, nowhere near as important. Oh, and Dave Bush,
Hayward.
big slip up. Oh, man. That's going to let Josh Jones, and this is that second pack's chance, Lee, here. They get all checked up here. Steven Stipien's going to get checked up because he's losing his help here. And now side-by-side racing. Oh, Delph a little bit tight on the bottom behind Josh Jones. Can Bush and Hayward hold on to these positions? They're fighting hard on the outside. Stipien giving them the draft down the front straightaway. Looks like they'll be able to hold on to it. And can Mark Whitley get something out of this?
Whitley, the benefactor of all that at the moment, but he stays way high coming in. It's going to allow Jones to come up. Now, Delph with his nose on the inside of Whitley, trying to make him stay back in that 6th position, but Whitley with the draft is going to be able to keep that spot. So Smoke Inc. with a small little scary thing right there, might almost kind of broke up their little gang of rowdy misfits, but able to stay together and continue with Step out in the lead. Bush in second, Hayward in third.
Yeah, and Bush right now, he had that big moment. Hayward did a great job not to wreck his teammate there off of 2 for how big a moment that was. That concerns me, though. If Bush got a little bit, out of shape there early, can he get out of shape again? And I tell you what, that second pack lead, they're down to 2.7 seconds now. That is getting within range of that draft. I'd say another 2, 3, 4 more tenths, they'll definitely start to get a little bit of suck up from Brad Delph. And then once they get there, we're going to have about a 10-car train.
Yeah, and right now they all have settled out and are working together, just following the 87 of Derek Love. Even a little shove there from Doyle. And yeah, they have all synced up. You see how that front group spreading out, multiple groups. This second group pretty much nose to tail.
They're really starting to gain each lap. And the closer they get, the more they're going to gain, because they're going to start to get a really big draft off this pack ahead. And this is this is very similar to what we see at a Daytona or Talladega. What you would see with a pack trying to catch up to another pack. And it's almost like I'm taking experience from Daytona and Talladega and applying it to this race, because it looks so similar to a super speedway race.
It really does. But I love driving this track because it's similar to a super speedway, but it's got its own different characteristics that make it that much more fun.
Yeah, this is a lot of drivers' favorite track. I really enjoy this track too. It it definitely comes down to how the car drives, in my opinion, and I love one point actually our producer's making is about fuel mileage, and that's one beautiful thing about this track too. You usually always have some type of fuel mileage. I mean, say these guys tonight can go 47 laps. Do we see somebody in the draft? You've been riding in the lane here this whole time. Do they save enough fuel to where they can stretch it like we see at super speedway races sometimes? So, I mean, there's a lot of different strategies that can play out here tonight. And right now, that pack's definitely closing in 2.3 seconds back now from our leader, Steve Snicker.
Yeah, and Whitley and Delph side by side is not helping them out. Looking at the number 1 now of Todd Neese. Neese is back in this other group. Clifton Ashley back there. Cheswick, Paul Cohen, Michael Yarrow, Robbie Darnell, Jason T. Adams, Mr. Constitution. All back here in this group racing. That is going to be from about, call that 14th on back or so.
Yes, I believe so. Oh, actually, yes.
Oh, there's more than 3 cars there, sir. If not, if Nice is in 19th, 18th, so it's going to be 16th on back. So we'll split the difference. Well, we're both half right. I'm arguing with myself to everyone on YouTube, but in my head, I'm telling you, Robert is talking and arguing with me.
Hey, look, I can go live. Hi, everybody. I'm live. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's enjoying tonight's show.
See, now he's in your head.
Is it bad that I don't know if he's actually live or not?
I am. I'm actually live.
Okay,
everybody in chat, let them know I'm live. They'll let you know. Give it a second. I'm live.
You never know sometimes.
Yeah, I just think he's messing with us, like when he starts singing Danger Zone and, doing the monologue of Mice and Men, in our headphones. We have no idea what's going on. It's just him. Whoever forth out shall haveth the stone. It's like, what the heck is he doing? What is he talking about?
Oh, what am I going to do with you guys? Anyways, yeah, man, this has been great racing here. Like you said, we don't have much data to go off of, seeing what's going on out here in Michigan as his first time here at Freaky Fast. But these cars look just so racy all the time. Now, I wonder if this is what we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of the season. And do you think this is what we're going to be seeing there, Lee or Zach, when we get to, like, really short track racing and things like that?
I think short track racing will be a lot different than what you're seeing here tonight, of course. But I think anything bigger than a mile think you're going to see something similar to this. Just the way these cars are at the moment. I mean, you're looking at Steven Stipien out front. He's running 40-27 out front right now, this front of the field. The pole lap was a 40-32. So we're running right at the pole speed, 30 laps into a run. There is not much fall off. I mean, yes, we did start off the run at a 39.25 for Steven Stipien. He's now running 40.27. So there is a second of fall off there, but that is very little.
Kylie on YouTube telling me just to look at the rabbits, man. I don't want to look at the rabbits. I know what happens when you look at the rabbits. I ain't looking at no damn rabbits. I don't know what you're talking about. Dodson now racing a little bit here. That's not Dodson, excuse me. That's going to be Cohen and Ashley.
Yeah, this is where all the action is.
Yeah.
Now Yarrow too back here in that 95 machine. She's right there behind the one. Tadis on the bottom lane. Old man there. Getting a little racy down the back straightaway here for the 10 of Clifton Ashley and the 6 of Robert Cheswick.
Yeah, Cheswick leading that group. Then Ashley, Cohen, Dodson, Neese, and Yarrow. Then also behind Yarrow in that group, Robbie Darnell. So they single file it back out now. But yeah, you got three little clusters, and I tell you what, the cluster that I'm interested in is the cluster that has the head centipede of the number 87 of Derek Love, as they are now 1.5 behind the front group.
Yeah, they're getting there. They're doing it, and it's just going to take a little bit more. You can look at Leffler. I mean, he's tried everything he can. Oh no, actually gets to the inside here. That's not exactly what he wanted. He wanted to push that 87 down the straightaway. That's going to slow him up just a little bit, especially in here side by side.
Yeah, they're going to lose some time right there. Already now up to almost 2 seconds in the gap. I don't know if Leffler was trying to gain a position, if he just shoved too much and ended up in the front, if Derek Love got tired of leading, Leffler maybe got a little hot. Unsure, but that definitely hurt them.
It's definitely possible for overheating, possibly. I've never even actually thought about that, but I mean, if you're tucked up behind someone, pushing them down the straightaways and tucked up behind them in the corners, not getting no air on the nose, you definitely could overheat pretty quickly. Looking at it here, I'm trying to find out exactly what they're using here tonight. Actually, it doesn't tell me. I believe we're on the iRacing fixed setup, so that there will definitely be interesting. As I think the pit window should be opening up. If we're going to see a 2-stop, this is right where the window should be opening up for that 2-stop work.
So Stipien, Bush, Hayward, Jones, Delph, and Whitley are 1 through 6 in the front group. Then you're going to have Derek Love, Luke LaFaro, Lane Doyle, Kyle Nadeau, Brandon Hartwell, Nicholas Lulby. That'll be back through 13th position. And now down to 1.9. So trying to get that back again. But yeah, I mean, even not being teammates, I wish I was privy to exactly what was going on there, why Leffler got in front and kind of killed that momentum that they had been working lap after lap on.
Yeah, I can only think it's a mistake. It's the only thing I can think is trying to push him hard and then got a little off center and got scared, lifted, and had to get away from that bumper to make sure he didn't turn the 87. Or maybe the 87 said, maybe, hey, I can push better. Let me try to push you and let you lead. But right now we're seeing them actually lose time right now at a 40-24 to Stipien's 40-18. So we're getting faster as the fuel burns off.
We're watching Whitley and Delph kind of jockeying around now, which is kind of spread that front group out just a tad bit. You can see it between Hayward and then Josh Jones. Of course, they're going to close that gap back up, but Jones is working that much higher line, especially through 1 and
2. Yeah, he's up there trying to find something. We've seen him searching pretty much this whole entire run. I mean, this is actually going to be a gigantic run for him down the back straightaway. See if he can do anything. Don't let him do anything with it. But he's learning at least, and that's going to be one thing you're going to need to know when coming down to the end of this race. What line can you do to make a pass? Because following in the tracks of another person is not going to work.
Lap 38 of 163 to go here with Sim Racing Unleashed on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Lee Tidwell, Zach Hall, and Robert Amoya here with you for your wonderful Sunday night. Thank you to everyone who's happened to join us. Who happens to join us? Yes, I can speak, I promise. It's Sunday. I got to go work tomorrow. Leave me alone.
That it is.
I don't want to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Monday is never a fun day at all. But right now, you're looking at Leffler still in position, trying to make up time in 7th. Let's see, he made up some time this time by. Yes, he did. So down to 2.3. So back in. They got it down to 2.3. Haven't seen him get it under that yet, but we'll see if they keep going forward like this. They could possibly get there. But like Kali said out in the chat out there, it's going to be pit stops by the time they catch you because we're nearing lap 40 here. And this is telling me kind of if they're going to go to lap 40, maybe a few of these guys possibly might try to stretch it to 50. Maybe we could see the one-stop play to effect. Who's saving fuel? Who hasn't been?
Ones that really wonder that question, not necessarily if they're saving fuel, but how much they got is going to be Smoke Inc., Stimpy and Bush and Hayward. 1, 2, and 3. So, you know, they've been all out this entire race.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially Hunter Hayward, they're running in 3rd. He's been 3rd pretty much this whole entire time. He's had to save a good bit of fuel in 3rd.
Yeah, but if they're going to stick together, though, they're going to have to go by Stimpy.
That's very true. I mean, Stimpy out frontly, he's going to have a lot less fuel than these guys by just running out front this entire time. I'm kind of personally surprised they haven't swapped at some point to fix that, but maybe they feel like Stimpy is a very fast driver at Michigan here, so they feel like he can lead this pack very confidently and help pull them around this big 2-mile lead.
7 Chevys in the top 10. 2 Fords and 1 Toyota.
Oh, man, I tell you what, Leffler's going to start to get a big draft here in a few because it's down almost to 2.2 seconds here. And we'll see if he can cut that down to around 2.1 or 2.0 because now he's almost 1.5 seconds within of that 77, and that's when you really start to get a dramatic effect from that draft.
Yeah, he was 1/10 faster than Whitley. 1/10 faster than the front group, so making up time each and every lap. Lots of people out there rooting for Stimpy today. Got Mr. Hayward's fan group out there for rooting for the 21.
Yeah, and right now these guys looking strong at Smoke Inc. This is the perfect race for them to sponsor. They knew this would be the one. They had it circled. I mean, Stimpy very strong here in Michigan, and right now their teamwork is what's really impressing me the most.
Once again, Whitley and Delph kind of when they go through 1 and 2.
Yeah, they are kind of.
That's a racing term, by the way. That's a racing term.
I can't do it as well as she does, so I can't use that racing term.
1.2 separates Whitley from the Leffler group. Sounds like a law firm. You been injured in an accident? Call the Leffler group.
Oh, Leffler. As we'll come by complete lap 43. Ah, man. If they get to 50, I told you guys I'd be very surprised. But now I'm starting to think I shouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, didn't you say you shave your eyebrows if they made it to 50?
That was a negative, Ghost Rider.
It's worth a shot, though. But if you are watching this video, whether or not it's live or sometime in the future, if it's in the future, do we have hoverboards yet? I want to know when we get hoverboards. But make sure you click on that like button. We got a dislike. That is some random stuff. Don't usually get dislike on our videos. make sure you click that like button. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. One of the things that we got to bet on is making it to 1,000 subscribers. And then when we do, then we got all kinds of neat stuff that's going to happen. Sam Dyer's going to broadcast in the nude. Zach Hall's going to rub, I think it's macaroni and cheese on himself. I can't remember what else is going to happen. But, yeah, all kinds of cool things will be going on when we hit 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you click that button. Stipian's still in the lead. Bush, Hunter Hayward, Josh Jones, Brad Delphin, Mark Whitley, your front six in that front group. Then you got Leffler, Love, LaFaro, Doyle rounding out your top 10 with Nadeau and Hartwell. Oh, and the 87, Derek Love, going to come in pit by himself.
Ooh, on lap 45. That is 5 laps short of what he needs to do to make this a one-stop event. That scares me. He led for a long time, that pack, before the 72 Leffler took over the position from him. Does Steven Stipien have to pit this time by? We will have to see.
Yeah, so now we're going to start watching to see who is coming into pit road. And here comes Smoke Inc.
Yeah, so stopping here at lap 46. They're going to be 4 laps short, 8 laps total short for the whole race distance. But this call, it makes me question, could you have pitted earlier and got out by yourself?
I think Cheswick got a black flag for speeding in pits.
Yeah, I believe he did too, Lee. Looks like that'll be an issue for that 6. And right now, race off pit road. Looks like Hunter Hayward actually going to overtake his teammate Steven Stipien, as Dave Bush lost a little bit of time as he's got Leffler all over the back of him.
The only one to stay out from that front group was Mark Whitley. So he is still out there, and now he's having to contend with people coming off of pit road.
Yeah, he rode in the back of that pack for a long time, and we're used to the 77 having unreal pace, and it just looked like it was a struggle bus for him there early in the run. Maybe he, very consciously at the beginning of this race, said, I think I can make 50 laps. He's coming by to complete lap 48 this time. If he can do at least 2 more laps, he's sitting very pretty for a race win.
Trying to stay right there behind LaFaro. But just cannot keep that draft. So Whitley's going to be kind of sitting there by his little lonesome. Nadeau in 11th position, 3.7 seconds behind him. So Whitley stayed out. He is the only one at the moment that I see. Let me make my telemetry move. Whitley's coming in now here on lap 49.
Let's see, it's going to be 49 here. Means he's going to be 2 laps short ultimately for this race. Can he save 2 laps? That is going to be hard to do. The other thing I worry about, does he lose the the league draft pack? Is going to be another question I got to ask. A lot of things going through a lot of these drivers' heads. But I think at this point it sets up for a splash of fuel and go, because if tires not meaning very much, you can see on the lap times.
Dave Bush getting stuck behind Paul Cohen, trying not to lose the draft, as Hunter Hayward will be in first, Stipien in second, then Jones will be in third. Bush now comes around, he's in fourth, Leffler in fifth, Derek Love in sixth, Brad Delphin 7th, Lane Doyle in 8th, LaFaro 9th, and Whitley will round out your top 10. So Whitley stays in the top 10 even after that. Kayla makes it a bit. Girl, where you been? You ain't said nothing in weeks. I didn't know how you were. I just saw you randomly posting stuff on Facebook. So Miss Kayla Potter, soon to be Miss Kayla Stipien. Mama Kayla, how you doing? How's Mama and them? What you have for dinner? All that good stuff. We're on lap 51 of 100. 50 laps to go. Zach, we halfway done, and we haven't lost our minds yet. It's a miracle.
Yeah, Michigan, I thought was going to be a wild race with a few yellows at least. But this one so far has went clean and green. And right now, Hunter Hayward has cycled to the lead through all this pit stop sequence. And what this has done is very interesting to the whole aspect of this race. Whitley staying out that much longer is 7.6 seconds back. And to point that out now, 9.8 as he is losing time. I don't know if he's trying to save some fuel, because his lap time this time by 41.721. Very, very slow. I mean, much slower than the pace he had before this.
Yeah, that's very odd. We'll have to see how that goes. Leffler in 5th. Derek Love back in 6th position, 3 seconds behind him. So that's the gap between our front two groups. It's like Whitley's already trying to save gas.
Guys, we're right on board here with Mark Whitley. We can hear this driver using the clutchless racetrack. You see he's on the low side of the racetrack, and he just does a little bit of clutch. And the only issue I have with this strategy right here, he's giving up way too much time. He's if you give up multiple seconds a lap, saving fuel, then you're gonna be pretty much caught at that point for the lead. So Willie trying everything he can, and right now running the high line. That's definitely not the solution.
I think he was trying to let Nadeau have that inside. Nadeau was like, "No, man, we're the only ones out here. We're on a little lonely island by ourselves. We're two turtles caught on an island after a storm. Just one palm tree and a rock, and a little crab that comes up every once in a while when the tide comes in. These two little turtles, they don't want to get away from each other. But you know, the alpha turtle, big turtle, Mark Whitley's like, no, you got to fly by yourself, little Nadeau turtle. You got to go. The little Nadeau turtle's like, no, man, I'm staying right behind you.
I just had the funniest picture in my head about all that. And I definitely am. The thing is, I think that Nadeau thinks there is draft is at a premium for saving fuel. I think everybody's figured out, man, I am not going to be able to make it on fuel. What am I going to do to make this work out? I think at this point, they should have just committed to a two-stop strategy. I think that would have been the race-winning move.
We're looking at Derek Love, Steven Leffler. Gotta take that back. Derek Love, Brad Delp, Lane Doyle, Luke Ferraro. They're trying to chase down Leffler. 0.3 of a second separate these two groups.
And in front of that, you still have the 5-car breakaway of Hunter Hayward, Steven Stippian, Josh Jones, Dave Bush, and Steven Leffler in those 5 cars, about 2.6 seconds ahead of Derek Love. But I tell you what, Josh Jones has been able to separate the top 3 Smoke Inc. guys. That's interesting to see, because those Smoke Inc. guys have been very strong. And that would be crazy for them to sponsor the race and then all 3 of them get the top 2 or top 2 car.
You know, Collie should understand you can't play World of Warcraft and listen to Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Those two interactions don't go well together, because you will be playing on the side screen and hear something about a random ass turtle or something. That will happen sooner or later, and Mr. Collie just got taken aback by turtle comments here on a racing broadcast, so you're welcome, sir. Lap 57 of 100. We got 44 to go, and Zach, now the question becomes the fuel mileage game. You know, the game that Mark Whitley's trying to play. Then what happens with this front group and this second group? Can the Derek Love train come catch up to this front group? There should probably be at least one more pit stop. Will it be splash and go? Who's going to try to take tires? What's going to be the pit sequence on that? So we got a little bit of time before all this really shakes out if we keep it the way it is.
Yeah, the way it's going to shake out too is going to be very interesting. Personally, at this point, Lee, what you could do is you could technically come down here and get a splash of fuel right now. Go ahead, get that splash of fuel done, and be good to go all the way to the end of this race. because the tires are not going to be an issue. So you could technically do that right now. I want to see if anybody employs that strategy because it'll set you up pretty well for the end of the race, but nobody's yet to do it. We'll have to see if anybody does elect to do that.
Yeah. The field just kind of. Whitley's still losing ground. He's got a group of cars that just caught up with him. And there they go. Whitley now 13th, falling on backwards. Nice passes him. Now Hartwell's going to go around. Clifton Ashley, Jason T. Adams looking to. Whitley is going all the way to the back.
Yeah, I don't know the strategy, man. It's giving up a lot of time to try to make the fuel mileage strategy work. I just don't see it playing off in the end because he's going to be all by himself here at some point, and you're going to burn a lot of fuel by yourself here.
Well, if he can get in the back of this pack and follow them around, you know, he's already been trying to save fuel at the beginning of this run. Get in the back of this pack and not have to stop again. It could play off, but Whitley, see, Whitley's going into one now, and our leader, Hunter Hayward, in the number 21, is now crossing the start-finish line. So, and pit stops are running around 47 seconds from entering pit road to exit. A lap is going about 40 seconds, give or take. You get lapped, you're not going to make it back up, even if you stay out.
Yeah, no time for that. This is critical right now for Whitley. I just don't know if the strategy is going to work out with the way the timing is going to be. But I've seen crazier things, and he's doing what you're saying, Lee, about riding in this pack now, saving as much fuel as possible. If he stretches the fuel and it stays an extra 2 laps than he did the first time, he's done some amazing job right here this run.
As we're watching this group come around, James Bryan stuck to the inside. It looked like Darnell was trying to let him come on up, but he just kept hugging that bottom line, and then he's falling backwards as well. So, interesting things playing out on the track as we speak.
Yeah, we're got a lot of interesting things going on, but in also somewhat a kind of a lull. There's just either trying to dice it up a little bit back here. But this race right now is kind of in a lull to where the guys know they have to get to a certain point to make their final pit stop. And I think a lot of them are settling for where they're at right now and trying to get the most out of this final time down pit road.
Absolutely. Lap 62 of 100. As Paul Cohen now coming in. Just came across the radio.
And he's 3 laps down at the moment, that 51 machine, that 22nd position. So he'll be coming in here, get him some service done on that race car. He'll be able to make it to the end from here with a little less than 40 to go.
Yep. It's like the alley on King of the Hill, man. I'm just going to sip my beer and say yep until something happens.
Yeah, I think a lot of it right now is just a chess game. It's
I hate chess.
And you know, actually, our producer just said it about the real Pocono race. I kind of agree. You're looking at something similar here to where you go ahead and go that fast. I think the guys out front like Hayward and them in the first 9, I think they've all committed to the strategy of a 2-stop. There's no way they think they're going to save enough fuel 5 laps short. But the rest of this field, they're kind of like, maybe there's a chance if we go slow enough, but how much time do you give up? It's always a catch-22, and at the moment was on lap 65. I don't know what's going to turn out to be the right call, but I think it's what the leaders are doing.
Riding on top of the 52 of James Bryan. You can see Jason T. Adams in front of him. Right behind is Robbie Darnell. Then you've got Mark Whitley. Whitley's even behind farther Darnell. around 4/10 of a second, then Todd Neese back behind him. Man, I wish I was a telepath. I could read the thoughts of Mark Whitley, see what in the world he's thinking right now.
Yeah, I would like to see what he's thinking. I'd like to see also how much fuel is in that tank. You know, I'd like to get a little telemetry reading and say, how many gallons does this man have and how much is he burning per lap? Because 2 laps is 4 miles here. That is a long distance. I just do not see a driver being able to do that.
It's going to be interesting to see. 34 to go here from Michigan. 0 cautions, which makes for a quick night.
Quick night indeed.
Indeed, my good friend.
Yeah, looking around the track, I believe every car is single file at the moment as they hold on to the positions they got. But
You'll take a break?
I think right now, if there ever was a time for a break, Lee, I think this might be the time.
So we're going to take a quick commercial break. Some words from iRacing when we come back. We'll have the conclusion of the Smoke Inc. 200 from Michigan International Speedway with SRU and Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 26 laps to go here at Michigan. Hunter Hayward will continue to lead this race. Stimian in second. Dave Bush moves up to third. Smoke Inc. back in 1, 2, 3. Then Leffler fourth. Josh Jones fifth. Leffler just came over the radio and said he's pitting here lap 75.
25 to go is his mark, yeah.
Yeah, Lane Doyle's pitting as well, so Josh Jones comes in. Derek Love comes in. Everybody trying to get under that pit speed limit. When the black flags going on.
I think this is a smart call from these drivers here. If they can jump the Smoke Inc. trio, that's going to help their cause here for this race win, because it's looking tough to pass, especially if you have some help behind you, like the three teammates do up front. We'll have to see what they decide to do, because they cannot make it to the end of this race. I think they have to respond now.
Faro just came over the radio and said he's pitting in.
Looking at the 21 to 81 in the 53, continuing on another lap. Ooh, this is a risky call here. 24 to go. With their competition pitting all around them, are they going to take just a splash, or does the competition come out here and get new tires and run them down? We'll have to see. Man, this is going to get intense. I would imagine it's only going to take about at least 2 or 3 seconds of fuel to make it to the end of this race. Is that enough time, though? Ooh, Hayward and Stimian. They're about to wreck.
Yep, trying to give him a good shove. Bush right behind Stimian. Hayward did not like that maneuver whatsoever. He said, at least buy me dinner first. They come out of 2. Smoke Inc. will stay out here. Lap 78 of 100. Delph will cycle into 4th. Delph actually is not pitted yet, so my bad.
Stimian looking very good here, as he's all over the back of Hayward. Hayward did have a big moment there. The lap times they're running though right now, pretty good. 40.33 there. That wasn't the greatest time. But I'll go back here and look at Steven Leffler. He's running 40.561. So definitely maybe they do the overcut, as they like to call it in Formula One. Man, what the strategy galore here playing out right now.
Yeah, then you got to figure out with Mark Whitley now up to 9th position. He stayed out till lap 50. We saw him clutching at the beginning of his second run. So does he stay out and make it only a one-stop race? Very interesting, my dear Watson. 21 to go.
And now Steven Leffler, the biggest thing he has to worry about, and the craziest thing probably about this whole thing, is Steven Leffler, he's got his pit stop done. Remember Mark Whitley, he was up there racing with these guys, battling for it after he switched to this fuel saving mode. Steven Leffler only 2 seconds back and closing in on this pack up ahead of him. He will be looking to possibly be the leader of this race when it all cycles through.
Yeah, Leffler pitting on lap 76. Oh, Smoke's pitting. So all 3 of them come in. Brad Delph is going to stay out. He will inherit the lead, but will have to pit. Yeah, the only one that I don't think we're going to say will have to pit is Whitley, because we pretty much know what he's playing. He showed his cards, halfway through the race.
Yeah, he really did. It kind of, you said what he was thinking. Kali kind of brought that up in chat, and I think he hit the nail on the head. As here comes the 3 off pit road. It looks like, 2 tire stops here for our top 3. The thing is, though, even with that 2 tire stop, they're going to come out directly right here with this pack. And Steven Leffler also not too far behind. Dave Bush has lost touch of his teammates as Leffler and them jump him. Here goes Hayward and Stimian as they slide behind this pack here. Man, this is going to get wild. And what are the 2 tires to do that race car?
And then Leffler pitted on lap 76. And Dave Bush, man, he's way on back in that 53. By his lonesome. No help whatsoever. Little lonely turtle on a big, big desert island.
Yeah, major mistake on pit road. They're losing all that time, and it's just exponentially grown as he's lost the draft. And now Hayward and Stippian, they're trying to work their way by here because they go by Whitley. This is getting a little intense, guys.
Yeah, they're trying to get away from Leffler and just coming through the field.
Look at this, though. They're going to get slowed up a little bit. Here comes Leffler through the middle. He's going to have the help, I believe, of Robbie Darnell. No, not sorry, not. It's Luke LaFaro in the 20, I believe, is who's going to be helping him. Here comes Leffler.
Leffler coming up to the back of Stippian. Then you got Hayward. Ashley on the high side will let him on by, and it looks like Yaro's going to be like, fellas, if y'all want to race underneath, go right ahead. Three-way pack. Hayward, Stippian, and Leffler got a little tight there. He could not stick that bottom the way that Hunter Hayward and Steven Stippian did.
He could not, and now that's going to cycle Hunter Hayward to second with Brad Delph, our leader, 25 seconds out here, but he is yet the pit still with 17 to go. Still going to have to do that for that 14. But what can these drivers up front do? Leffler, he's got the help of the 20 of Luke LaFaro. As it's going to be, I believe, a four-car battle. Here they go.
Down to the inside. Leffler on the inside of Stippian. LaFaro going to follow him. They're going to power it out of four here. They almost door touch. Leffler looking to overtake Stippian for third position. Hayward and Leffler will take the high line. Josh Jones will drop down and help LaFaro. And Leffler on the low side. Little arrow push there to Stippian. Got him out of position. Broke the draft a bit. But look at Hayward powering on the outside. Now Leffler left out to dry. LaFaro's going to pass him on the high side.
These positions swapping back and forth. We could see this happen continuously for the last 15 laps here, as we see these guys be very patient in the early going. We've also seen Smoke Inc. You know, they had the top three positions locked up. Now they only have the top two positions locked up. That makes it a little bit harder for them to be able to hold the positions off. And they got three guys that could gang up on them here, as Josh Jones in the picture also.
Yeah, Dave Bush is back all the way to 13th position. So from Hunter Hayward back to Josh Jones, second through sixth, will be single file, and those guys are racing it out. Behind Jones, the next position will be the 95 of Michael Yarrow. Then you got Yarrow, Clifton Ashley, Mark Whitley, and Jason T. Adams. And actually got Nicholas Lulby, in that group. Adams is back a little bit. Lulby on fresher tires, as Ashley, Whitley, Adams, Darnell, James Bryant yet to pit, Derek Lugg, Lane Doyle pitted on 76.
14 to go. It's any man's game up here in the top five. The rest of the field going to have to figure out what their strategy is going to be. As Yarrow is the first one other than Brad Delph not to pit in our lead up here. Delph, I believe he can at least probably go to about 5 to go, but I don't know about much more than that.
Got to be 12 to go this time across the line. No, 13.
Leffler. He's trying to get it done. Anything possible to get past this 81, this 21, who have been dominant out front this whole entire race. And at some point, when does, Stippian go from defending for the 21 to making a move on the 21? Because that is when you're going to really see the race for the win happen. Because when these guys get side by side, they're going to slow each other up with that side draft. And then the third car on back will have a huge run. As you can see, Leffler getting a little bit of side draft from LaFaro, as Jones now going to push Leffler by, as LaFaro going to slide back to fifth.
Yeah, LaFaro looked to make a move there, went back to fifth. stay in that lead draft. They come through 1 and 2. Brad Delph will continue to lead, but has not pitted. You got Hunter Hayward, Stipien, Leffler, Jones, LaFaro, 2 through 6. Then it goes back to Yarrow in 7th, Clifton Ashley in 8th, Mark Whitley 9th, Jason Adams in 10th position. Brad Delph. Now we got to talk about him. 11 to go. He's got to just be like, I've made my bed. He put it on 48, man. There ain't no way.
Yeah, I'm thinking, Lee, the only chance this guy has in the 14, the only thing he's shooting for and stretching it for right here is a caution flag to fly, because he's about 5, 6, 7 laps short. So I expect him only to be able to do it at most at least another 5 laps here before he has to come down the pit road. If he can catch a caution, though, I can tell you what, there's going to be a lot of drivers coming down and getting 4 fresh tires.
So Delph continues to lead with Hunter Hayward in 2nd position. Delph middle of the backstretch. Hayward and him just coming into 1 and 2. But they are nose to tail again. Hayward, Stipien, Leffler, Jones, and LaFaro. Whitley has moved up to the front of this 2nd pack. Take that back. Nope, yep. Whitley in the front, but now he's going to fall on back. Let James Bryan take him on the high side. Whitley's strategy has been very Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde this evening.
It really has. You kind of really don't know what you're going to get with it there, as I don't think it's going to play out to amount to anything for him here. Unless he can make it. I just don't see him being able to do it. 2 laps is so much fuel to save. And I know he saved a little bit that first run to make it as far as he did because everybody else pitted so early. Whitley right now trying to do his best to make it. And another reason tells me he's very, very close to not making it. He's losing ground to the drivers ahead of him. That tells me he's lifting and coasting a bunch.
Looking back at the leaders, or not the leaders, excuse me, 2nd through 6th. As Leffler starting to sniff to the inside of Stipien going into 1. Jones is going to go down there, give him a little help. Stipien up to the 3rd groove, pulls it back down, and him and Hayward will pull back in front.
They just have such a strong hold on that. It's going to take Leffler getting clear of Stipien to have a good shot at getting to this 21, or it's going to take the 81 making the move on the 21 to make all this happen. Really, if you have 2 guys staying out front like this and giving the draft to each other, as long as they can keep 1 car nosed out ahead, they should be good enough to hold this off. But with 7 to go, we'll see.
Delph pitted on lap 93, couldn't make it any farther. So that puts Hunter Hayward into the lead. Now we're looking at the lead pack. Hayward, Stipien, Leffler, Jones, LaFaro. Ooh, what a run there by Stipien. Had to check up a bit, so did Leffler.
Yeah, Stipien's had some major runs that he's checked up from. Coming to 3 to go, I don't think he checks up for those runs anymore. Hunter Hayward is going to have to figure out how to hold his teammate off in these final 6 laps. I don't think it's going to come in the next few laps, but with less than 3 to go, I would expect it at any moment that 81 to make some type of move here to try to pull this race off.
Bryan just comes in and pits. And now Whitley's move, maybe not to win the race, but looking at the season overall, might not be such a bad maneuver. Robbie Darnell and Jason Adams in front of him both pitted on lap 48. They still have not pitted their 2nd time. They're going to have to come in. If Whitley doesn't have to pit again, he can finish this race in 6th. When you look at the points, Whitley's got, what, a 20-point lead?
Let's see here. I believe so, Lee.
And that's only going to put him finishing 3 spots behind Leffler. He's still going to have a 17-point lead.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not going to end up bad if he can make it. If he doesn't make it and has to pit, he's going to finish possibly 16th at worst. And that would possibly push it pretty close to a points lead being overtaken.
Very interesting. 4 to go. Hayward in the lead. Stipien in second, Leffler third, Jones fourth, LaFaro fifth. That's that front group you're watching now. Behind them, Whitley up into sixth now as everyone did pit. Dave Bush in seventh, Derek Love in eighth, Brad Delphin ninth, Lane Doyle will round out your top 10.
And looking at Whitley, he's just running so slow. 41.34 last time by. That's upwards of almost a second and a half slower than our leader. So he may get lapped at this point too if this pace continues to drop off this much.
3 to go. Leaders around 1 and 2. And I tell you what, excellent race driven by these 5 guys.
It really is. And I'm going to tell you what does Stipien do? Here comes Leffler. He's making the move.
Leffler to the inside of Stipien through 3. Will not have it as we exit 4. Will Stip go down and throw the block. As you see Jones and LaFaro giving the draft to Leffler, trying to help him on a round, but not going to make it across the line. Now we go into 1 and 2.
2 to go. Can Hunter Hayward hold off this win, get smoked into 1-2? Stipien, big run off the top. Does he have something for his younger teammate coming down the back straightaway? He does have a shot at it. Does he make the move? He decides to stick to the back bumper of the 21, going down to 3-4. I think he wants to make this a last lap maneuver as they'll come out of 4.
It'll be 2 to go. 1 to go when we cross the line. Barney the flag guy gets ready with that white flag. Hunter Hayward will lead them down. Flag is waving. White flag. Here we go. 1 lap to go. Hunter Hayward in the lead. Stipien in second. Leffler, Jones, and LaFaro. Leffler's going to pull up to the back of Stipien. Now look to the high side. Going to pull it down. Kind of work the momentum game here with Jones behind him. Then LaFaro out of 2. Half a lap. Will Stipien make a move on the young Hunter Hayward in the number 21? Stipien up to the back bumper. Will give him a shove. Leffler down to the inside. Leffler now will pass Stipien. Looking to pull it in front of Hunter Hayward. We drive it through 3 and 4. Big block there on Jones by Leffler. Stipien. We drive it out of 4. And Hunter Hayward will take the win. Stipien will fall back to 4th and accidentally spins Jones.
Man, oh man.
Hayward, Leffler, Jones, Stipien, LaFaro. Your front 5. Stipien, instead of going for the pass, gives the bump to Hayward. And it drops him back to 4th position. You talk about giving one for the team.
Yeah, that definitely Hayward better be thankful for his teammate there, because he definitely helped that 21 pull this off. Congrats to Hunter Hayward on that victory, but man, Josh Jones coming up third. And Steven Leffler, if he could have got this side draft just a little bit earlier off the corner, he may have had a shot, but just couldn't get to the corner panel in time. What a race, though.
An absolute barn burner there at the end, even though there wasn't a lot going on. But what a move by Steven Leffler and Josh Jones. And then Stipien basically sacrificing himself to ensure Hunter Hayward got the win. He could have dove to the inside there in 3, but instead gave the shove and basically gave himself up. Give Hunter that momentum. It allowed Leffler and Jones to drive underneath him. And then Stipien taps the back end of Jones going across the start-finish line. And LaFaro with a great run finishing in 5th position. Dave Bush ends up in 6th. Derek Love in 7th. Delphin 8th. Whitley in 9th. And Lane Doyle will round out the top 10 as we watch Hunter Hayward drive it over to victory lane and get set to have a little bit of fun, take a little bit of pictures, maybe drink some champagne and have one of those pretty trophy girls hand him a brand new trophy here from Michigan. When we come back, we'll have your top 3 finishers, your podium guys on board and up in the booth with Zach Hall here on Freaky Fast Broadcasting. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment.
All right, we are back here, everybody, for our post-race interview tonight for SRU here at the Michigan International Speedway. Let's go ahead and interview our third place man of Josh Jones. Hey, Josh, Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, man?
Yes, sir. I copy.
Hey, man, well, I'll tell you what, a fantastic finish here for you tonight, man, to bring home third. I tell you what, a very much somewhat of a calm race there tonight, and then while they're coming through the final corner to be able to bring yourself home third, man, take us through that last segment or last lap there, because you were able to, get that position from Snippy.
Yeah, me and Leffler were sitting there trying to figure out what we could do to try to pass somebody. It was pretty hard to pass if you didn't have like drafting help, so it just worked out. Steven got down low, and then Stimpy dropped down low in front of me, so I went high, and I said, well, I'm gonna have the run here a little bit, and I was jumping up and down my seat trying to get my car to go faster, even though it don't work, but it was hilarious after I did it.
Yeah, man, definitely. I can tell you do the same thing. Sometimes you gotta hope for speed, and it definitely worked out for you there to be able to bring home a third and another podium finish for you, man. It definitely looked tough out there to pass. Especially you had the Smoke Inc. guys out there in the top three, and it just seemed like when they had three cars out there, it was very hard to pass when you had people working together like that.
Yeah, it is. You can get a run, and in the draft, you couldn't run full throttle when you're behind the cars, so you can get a run, but once you stuck your nose out into the clean air, your run just stopped. So it made no sense to keep trying to get runs. You might as well just try to sit in line and wait for a mistake or wait for a good pushing run or something. It's just the way it is here, I guess.
Yeah, definitely learning up here in the booth. I'm sure you guys are too with this next-gen car, man. So congrats on third here tonight at Michigan. Josh, before we let you go, man, anybody wants to shout to?
First, American Hero Hunt, Beat on the Hood, and 22Q Racing Boys, and SRU putting it on, and you guys for broadcasting.
Well, Josh, congrats on third here tonight, man, and we will catch you in 2 weeks, buddy.
Okay.
All right, that was your third place man of Josh Jones. Now we'll move on to the driver who came up just a little bit short in the 72 of Steven Leffler, but a hard-fought battle nonetheless for Steven to bring it home at second. Hey, Steven, is Zach up in the booth? You got coffee, man?
Yeah, how's it going?
Hey, going very good, man. I tell you what, definitely a interesting race for yourself there, man. Race started off there pretty wild, as you know, with these cars very much wide open, and then somewhat dropped back there for yourself, and then you somewhat climbed your way physically back through this field and got yourself back in the second, man. How difficult was that, and how did you do that, Steve?
Well, I'll tell you what, when I first started falling back, it would be an understatement if I said I wasn't sweating bullets. But I was definitely nervous starting to fall back because I didn't want to do that. I don't know what happened. I went to make a pass. I forgot who it was. I went to make a pass on someone and got stuck on the bottom. And then when I came back up, it's just there was no power there. The car just wasn't going anywhere. And I was right in line with everyone else. So it was just, I don't know. I felt like I had a parachute on me. So, fell back, got back to the pack behind me, kind of gathered things up and relaxed a little bit. And we started moving our way forward little by little. And, thanks to them guys, Love, Lane, for getting us back up to where we were and getting us close enough to where pit stops, really helped us out. I don't know how I managed to cut off so much time compared to everyone else on that pit stop, the first one. But I came back out with the lead pack, and it worked out good from there. And then from that point on, it was just strategize and try and figure out, something that'll work for me and Jones to get us to the end. And it just sucks because we ended up getting separated coming off the pit road. It sounds like he got a little bit sideways coming out of his box. And it kind of slowed us down a little bit. We were losing time to the Smoking guys, but it ended up working out good in the end. We got us back up to where we were.
Yeah, definitely a hard fought, man. I tell you what, and with this style racing, especially the Michigan International Speedway here, did you feel like you were almost at something of a Daytona Talladega trying to, make up time like you did there on pit road and gain through the draft and, not race really and try to slow each other down? It seemed very similar to some of that.
Yeah, it was pretty much a plate track type of race. The only thing that was really different was the fact that we had a couple packs that split up, almost right from the start. So it definitely takes some getting used to. And I wasn't expecting to run green the entire way, so that was kind of a game changer for some people, because I know some of the guys in practice were talking about hanging back in the back, and that was my one biggest fear, is if this thing did run green like that, getting stuck back there and not being able to make up any time, because it's just so hard to once you get so far back.
Definitely is, my friend. I tell you what, it was a fantastic battle there and coming down to the end. So close, man. Just take us through that last lap, because you almost got there, got to the quarter pen almost, and it was almost able to side draft them back, but just not enough time there on the straightaway.
Yeah, so me and Jones had been trying to figure something out for the last 10 laps. We were talking it over on the radio, and at one point I even told him, I was like, man, I really don't know what to do, because we only took 2 rights during the pit stop, so they only lasted about the first 15 laps that we had them. So when we got down to the end there, they were kind of pretty much done, kind of overheated. But yeah, my plan was just to I actually tried it a couple times on the front and the back straightaway, just to see where I can get the best run. But my plan was just to kind of hang back a little bit going into one of the corners, and then get a run down the straightaway, and then just try and put some pressure on them on the inside, and see if I can get it to stick down there. And it worked out good, because I think I caught Stimp off guard just a little bit going into 3, because it looked like he was going to go up high and then cut down low, and I went down below him and kind of left him up there. And if I could have just had Jones stick with me, though, because he got caught up behind Stimp, and I needed a pusher. If I would have had a pusher there coming down the front straightaway, I think we could have had him. But overall, pretty good race. Can't complain. Thanks to Jones for the help there at the end. And then congrats to Hunter, because that was a well fought win.
It definitely was, man. It kept us on the edge of our seat there, coming through 3 and 4. So thank you for that, Steven. Before we let you go, though, man, anybody else you want to send a shout to?
Yeah, 22Q Family Foundation for letting me put their name on the car and run their colors. Budget Sim Boxes, Renegade Reptiles, all the fellow admin at SRU for helping me get the league, week by week, everything situated. You guys for broadcasting for us, and then all my family and friends out there that are watching.
Well, Steven, congrats, man. It's been a good start to the season for you. Gained some points on Mark Whitley tonight, so buddy, congrats on that, and we will catch you in 2 weeks, man. You have a great 4th of July.
Thank you. You too as well.
All right, everybody, that was your second place man of Steven Leffler, second place man in points. Also made a good gain on that tonight. But we got our race winner, second win of the season for this young man of Hunter Hayward in the 21 from Smoke Incorporated. Let's hear from him tonight, as it was beautiful teamwork seeing this driver bring home the victory for his team. Hey, Hunter, it's Zach up in the booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, buddy, I tell you what, congratulations on another win here this season, race win number 2 of this season. But I tell you what, first thing we got to ask you is, how about that teamwork tonight from your team? It was fantastic out there.
Oh, incredible. Dave and Stemp, they work really well on Wednesdays and Fridays as well in the Xfinity trucks to learn what they're going to do for Sunday, and that's exactly what they did. Stemp actually won on Wednesday, and Dave won on Friday, so they knew what to do to work as a team to be able to win it, and they kind of just told me what the plan was going to be before the race, and we made it work so well. It was kind of like Daytona, where we just stayed in the pack, tried not to pull away from each other, just keep the speed and the time up, and it worked so well. Stemp, I can't thank him enough, pushed me to that win, pretty much helped me block off Leffler and Jones, so I'm really thankful for that. But overall, I mean, the teamwork was right there. It made the dream work.
Yes, it does. Teamwork does make the dream work, young man. I tell you what, great win here tonight for yourself. But, it had to be nerve-wracking. It's great for the team, first of all, that you guys swept the week here at Michigan for the league. That's great to see. But, man, it had to be nerve-wracking coming down to the end. Take us, down to his final 3 laps. What's going through your head? Are you even looking out your windshield? I mean, kind of take us through it.
In the last 5 laps, we knew that, you could see that Leffler and Jones just couldn't hold it on the bottom and make it rotate through center to be able to get the good exit over us. So we kind of just knew that if we keep this middle to higher groove, we'll be able to just keep the runs on them on the straightaways, and we'll be able to finish 1-2. And then that's exactly what we're doing. The last couple of laps, though, like you said, I was in my mirror the whole time, whether if it was looking at Stipian's car or the cars on my inside. But especially that last lap, I was in my mirror that entire time trying to see what Leffler and Jones would do, what my teammates would do. But stuck with me, and it just went from there. Leffler was trying to get that side draft on me, but I just had such a good run on exit that by the time he was there, I was already at the line. So, I just can't thank him enough for the way he was working with me all day today. I wouldn't have done it without him, and Dave Bush as well. It was unfortunate he had a interesting pit stop. In that last pit stop we took, the second stop, we only took about 1 can, a little bit under 1 can in right sides, and me and Stipian went out well. We went the same time on exit, but Dave Bush, interestingly enough, was still on the jack for his car and lost about 16 seconds for 1 stop. So very interesting for his side, but that was very interesting, and we couldn't really figure it out. But he still finished 6th, so overall, a really good day.
Yeah, definitely a good day for the team there, buddy, and the team sponsoring the race. That's a great way to bring home Michigan for Smoke Inc. But before we let you go and celebrate this victory tonight, Hunter, anybody else who wants to shout to, buddy?
Yeah, just yet again, another big shout out to Steven Stipian. Helped me out. It means a lot. Forgot to shout you out a couple interviews ago, and I know you're probably still mad at me for that, but I'll shout you out again. But Dave Bush out there, especially making my paints a lot, means a lot. Everybody at Termite Designs, you guys out here at Freaky Fast helping me or broadcasting these races. Y'all do a really good job. And for me to be able to commentate some of your races on Thursday nights and even some other nights for fill-in spots. So really thankful for that. This league for letting me in. Great guys here. Love racing with them. It was really fun today. Everyone else over at Cat 5 as well. Collie, Zach, you, Brian, Cedric, all of them over there for helping me out week in and week out. Learning every new thing, just giving me tips. Just helping me learn every single week. Tuesdays, the Tuesday League as well, RSR. Check them out. This Tuesday we're at Daytona for a playoff elimination race. Check them out. It's going to be a really fun race. Also, quick shout out to my sponsor, Plan B Sales. If you're looking for diecasts or any apparel for your favorite driver in NASCAR, IndyCar, dirt racing, whatever, even Formula One, check them out. You can find anything from shirts to diecasts to hats to anything. Largest distributor of it in North America, so you can find whatever you want on there. Make sure you use code HH48, HH as in Hunter Hayward, 48 for free shipping on orders $20 and over. And it means a lot. I'm really thankful for them as my sponsor, and that's all I got.
Great stuff there, buddy. Congrats on the win. You go celebrate that thing, and we'll catch you again in 2 weeks, and also on Tuesday night, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, Hunter, you have a great night, and Michael Jordan's the go.
No, LeBron is better, okay? No.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't have to hear none of that. Just trolling the young man, but we got a fantastic race. We have a good laugh up here in the booth with my producer. Man, oh man. Let's go ahead and get to those race results as Hunter Hayward was able to bring home the victory. You gotta love it here, the lighthearted action here, big fast broadcast. But there it is, Hunter Hayward bringing home the victory. Second's gonna go to Steven Leffler. Third place is gonna be Josh Jones. Fourth, Steven Stimpy in there. Fifth is gonna be Luke LaFaro. Sixth is gonna go to Dave Bush. Seventh is Derek Love. Eighth, Brad Delph. Ninth is gonna be Mark Whitley. 10th is gonna be Lane Doyle rounding out that top 10. First car lap down is going to be Michael Yard in the 11th position. 12th is going to go to Todd Neese. 13th is going to be James Bryant. 14th is going to be Jason Adams. 15th, Robbie Darnell. 16th, Nicholas Lobe. 17th, Clifton Ashley. 18th is going to go to Robert Cheswick. 19th, Jeff Dotson. 20th is Brandon Hartwell. 21st, Kyle Nadu. And rounding your field in the 22nd position is Paul Cohen. As that is your race results tonight here from the Michigan International Speedway for the Smoke Inc. 200. We got to thank Smoke Inc. for sponsoring here tonight at Sim Racing Unleashed. What a performance they put on this week in Michigan, so they definitely picked the right week to sponsor a racetrack, so shout out to them. But also shout out to you race fans. Lee wanted to make sure I told y'all that he loves you, and he says make sure to tune in here each and every night because you don't want to miss the action that we have to bring you. And I got to echo that, so definitely don't want to miss out on that. Shout out to SRU for being able to put on such an amazing race here tonight with the next-gen car. But, man, it's really been a fantastic one again here on Sunday nights. Let's send it up to my producer, Robert Moyer Jr., to close out tonight's broadcast here on this Sunday night.
All right. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, SRU, for having great racing here on Sunday nights. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the content here tonight. As we get ready to sign off here, we want to do say out there on YouTube, we again do appreciate everybody tuning in. Make sure you if you're back watching this video here after the race, which a lot of drivers do, hit that like button. It helps us out on YouTube algorithms. And if you're the first time here at Freaky Fast Broadcasting, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It does help us out as we're on a goal and a journey to 1K. And if you're looking for a Sunday night league or just looking for the other nights that these guys run, make sure you check out simracingunleashed.com. Link in the description is down below on YouTube, so you can go there and check them out. And maybe you get out here on the track and battle with these fast guys here with the next-gen cars, as we're learning everything week in and week out as the drivers do. And so far, I don't know how Zach feels about this, but so far I think these cars put on really great racing.
Oh, they really do, Robert. I'm excited, especially to see more on how they do on short tracks as we go through the season.
Yeah, I agree. This is fun watching. I mean, we're on a journey here, ladies and gentlemen, of learning. I mean, we're literally just learning as we go and watching these guys, you know, prepare for the 2021 season. As we do know, NASCAR is going to probably change a couple things, and we'll see how that all plays out. But from what I'm hearing right now, everybody really loves these next-gen cars, and they look so beautiful out in the track. So, again, thank you for tuning in here. But me and Zach and Lee, he already packed his stuff up. He's out in the car heading off onto his journey for work tomorrow morning. But me and Zach are going to pack our stuff up. And Zach's going to head off and do his thing. And I'm going to pack our stuff up to get ready for tomorrow night at 8:30 as we got the final race with Below the Yellow with Brandon Colley calling all the action with Sam Dyer up in the booth at Daytona International Speedway. So make sure you tune in tomorrow night at 8:30. We do much appreciate it. Or just swing by and say hello. And hopefully you stay and watch the content. If not, at least come by and say hello. But, all right, well, that's enough of my jabbering. We want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. We will be off next week. Saturday night, we're off. Sunday night, we are off. And also Sunday morning, we are off. So next weekend, there will be no broadcasting here at Freaky Fast. But we do still got content through the week until we get past the 4th of July. So, again, happy 4th of July to everybody, and we'll catch you in the next stream. Until then, we're going to say God bless everybody. We love yous all. Peace out.
Later, everybody.